it's appropriate that the presiding officer welcomes everybody, and this is our first members meeting of 2021. And it's a presentation of all the ongoing activities that your Board of Trustees and many volunteers who are working to build the San Francisco Tour Guide Guild into version 2.0. You'll hear more about that in a little bit, but to start off, it may be duplication for some, but I'd like to share a special greeting by a couple of our members, and that would be Kathy and Susie. If you can't hear the video, wave your hand and
Hi, I'm Kathy Richter, a current member of the San Francisco Tour Guide Guild, the largest association of tour guides, travel and hospitality professionals in the San Francisco Bay Area. If you would like to access related videos, tourism information, and other professionals like yourself, please go to the San Francisco Tour Guide Guild website at sftgg.org and consider joining the Guild. Membership also includes certification programs, continuing education, networking, membership meetings, and speaker engagements. Now, here's Susie Abbott from the Guild's membership committee.
Hello, future Tour Guide Guild members. My name is Susie Abbott. I have been a member of the Tour Guide Guild for 8 years. I have been a member of the Board of Trustees as membership chair, and I have made lifelong friends here at the Tour Guide Guild. I love the networking. I love learning from the experiences of other tour guides, and then as I have gotten more experienced, I pass it down to new tour guides. We have a great website that's interactive. It has a whole wealth of knowledge on all these study guides and more deeper history of San Francisco and the Bay Area. So come and join. Don't you love the foghorns? Come and join. Our Tour Guide Guild website is sftgg.org. Click the link below. Look forward to meeting you.
didn't they do a good job on that? So we owe many thanks to everybody who's in attendance and all those who are going to be viewing the recording afterwards. The Guild exists to serve the members and provide resources to the member guides and the traveling public and industry companies that make every San Francisco visit memorable. In a post-COVID world, the Guild's success will depend on many of the new initiatives, some of which are already underway, others of which are still on the drawing boards. But I hope that all of our members can get excited about what we're going to do to make version 2.0 even more successful than the first 35 years in the Guild. We hope you'll all spread the word to other people you know, and maybe we can build some new membership as some of our older members retire, and we can all together participate in the building blocks for the future of the Guild. And what we like to do is to recognize new members who have joined the Guild in the last year. We didn't really have any opportunity to, in a big way, introduce new members. So I'd like to turn it over to Julie Brown for a moment, who will introduce our new members. Take it away, Julie. Unmute yourself wherever you are.
Thank you.
And Colin, the first new member is Dominic.
Yeah, that basically looks like me about 15 pounds ago, and will be again very shortly.
Thank you, Dominic.
All right. So Dominic, it's Dorazzi, right?
Dorazzi, Dominic Dorazzi, that's right.
Robles is in the North Bay. He is an ITMI grad from 2003. He joined TELC in 2006, running European and classic European land tours. He's had a pedicab running on the Embarcadero for the past 30 years. It's a little quiet now, so he hasn't been out, but I can't wait to join you. He's a hometown boy here, San Francisco native, whose family roots actually date back to the gold rush. He lives in Santa Rosa with his wife and his daughter. Next up. Yay, Rick Penn. I think a lot of you probably met Rick last Thursday when he did a presentation on the Buffalo Soldiers. Rick Penn, a great friend of mine, worked with him at the Presidio. So he is a retired National Park Service Ranger and was the Presidio's expert on the Buffalo Soldiers history in the Presidio. If you went on a tour, especially during Black History Month, you probably saw Rick do his presentation in person. He presented to the Guild just last week, a talk on the moral dilemma of the Buffalo Soldiers. He is a 40-year resident of the Bay Area and often speaks at Black History events. He also often speaks on other Presidio topics like Christie Field aviation history, the National Cemetery in the Presidio, and about the Marin Headlands. Welcome, Rick.
Thank you, Rick.
Babs, we have you on here because you're back. So I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna read to you what I took off of her bio because it was perfect. Babs has been romancing the tourism community for 3 decades. As a global travel advisor, tour director, tour guide, operations manager, and travel event planner while maintaining her love and lifestyle centered on the travel experience. She is a walking encyclopedia of information with a wealth of insights about California and the Southwest. She has been inactive for a while and was in Nevada, is my understanding, but now she's here and she's reactivated in a big way. And she's doing a lot of volunteering and assisting with a lot of the projects that the trustees are doing. So she will tell you all about it, I'm sure.
And this is my baby.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Well,
this is my baby Bucket. Sometimes she comes on tour with me.
Welcome back. Armin, I think that you were signing on to be on the meeting tonight, but I didn't get a chance to talk to you. So I also took this off of his bio. Armin lives in Vallejo and is a certified tour guide and had rejoined the Guild just last year. So we're doing an official welcome back. He has decades of experience in over-the-road foreign language tours. He's a tour director for Tauk, primarily working overseas. He started local guiding in 1995 and specializes in bicycle tours in Golden Gate Park. Now remember, if this is not updated, you need to all go in your bio and update your bio. He is also fluent in German and Spanish. So welcome back, Armin.
Thank you. And nice to see some faces there. Hi, Michael. Who's out there too still? Barbara and saw some other folks there. David Stein and was Doug Hornan. Yeah, nice to see you all again. So
Yeah.
Virginia, yeah, hi there.
Welcome.
Nice to be back. Thanks.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Oh, and Ringo's. This is Ringo back here.
Awesome. All right, next up is Marco Robles, who's from Penn. I don't think he was going to be on the call tonight, but just so we give you an overview on him. Marco drove for SF Comprehensive Shuttle Tours with Step-On Guides in 2017 and 18, and then became a driver guide for Tower Tours, leading tours in San Francisco, Muir Woods, Wine Country, Monterey, and Carmel. He is fluent in English and in Spanish. Next up is Kurt Hayden, who I think is on the call as well. Kurt and I have had a great conversation just via email. See, so amazing how you can get personality just over email and bios. Kurt was born in San Francisco, raised in Marin. He also has family with strong rooted history in San Francisco, also dating back to the Gold Rush era. Within his personal life, as well as his tour guiding experiences, Kurt calculates that he has made over more than 100,000 Golden Gate Bridge crossings. He has a BA from USC in International Relations and was also part of the Peace Corps and served as an agronomist for 2 years in Nicaragua. And he has also lived in El Salvador. He's been a tour narrator guide for Hornblower Class 2017, and he loves to celebrate life. So welcome.
Welcome, Kurt.
All right.
Do you have anything on Baja?
if there's a pandemic. And I just want to say lastly, and then I promise we'll stop, no one in the company.
Thank you. Mahan Nakiv is in San Jose. I think he's actually right now in San Diego. But he is Silicon Valley Tour, and he leads tours for technology lovers. Baha shares inside stories from the perspective of a local Silicon Valley entrepreneur, because he was one. He is excited to share his knowledge of amazing innovations that have completely changed the world that started in Silicon Valley. Christopher Aaron is at Valley, and I think he's on the call as well. Christopher, again, from Mill Valley, California. He's a tour director for Globus. And up until last March, like a lot of us, he has traveled more than 6 to 8 months of the year. Christopher began as a tour director in 1983, and between 1999 and 2010, he freelanced out of Tucson, Arizona. He has extremely varied tour experience in traditional over-the-road tours, outdoor experiential guiding, and custom specialty tours. So I can't wait to talk with you about all of those specialized tours that you did, experiential tours. Valerie Perez Lopez, I think you're on the call as well. Valerie is in San Bruno. She joined the Guild in early 2020 as well, and is a tour guide for hornblower cable cars, and has done plenty of walking tours as well. She is a history buff with extensive knowledge of San Francisco, and she is fluent in Spanish. And last but not least is Robin Carter. Robin grew up in Seattle, followed the sun to San Diego, and then arrived in San Francisco in 2000. She is a musician, performer, and tour guide with many other talents as well. She joined the Guild early last year, along with Valerie, and what she says is that guiding allows her to combine her love for the city and history of San Francisco and her passion for creating a fun, memorable experience for all types of groups and visitors. She began her tour guide career with the Real SF Tour, an extensive 8-hour tour of San Francisco, exploring many neighborhoods by foot and public transit. She is currently part of the Hornblower Cable Car Tours as well. And those are our new members. Take it away, Len.
Then is your microphone working? You want to double check if we can hear you, because we are not hearing you right now.
Okay, try that again. So can you hear me now?
Now it's working.
Okay,
yes.
Good. Sorry about that. I think I know what that intermittent problem is. I think it now is solved forever now that I know what's causing that. Sorry about that. Thanks to all the new members, and we hope we can duplicate the quantity and maybe even double the quantity this year, assuming touring gets back into the picture. At this point, we'd like to introduce all of the trustees and have the trustees provide some of their reports. I'll just highlight and thank individually. Many of you know these people, but some of the new people might deserve just a little refresher. Mia Burnt has been on the Guild, on the Board of Trustees now for almost 6 years. Her term will end at the end of this year, but she's been a stalwart member of the Guild. Treasurer Clemencia Calmanares was on the Guild several years ago and is back. Her term ends up this year. Mark, you'll hear more from Mark. He's been on the Board of Trustees, actually filling out 1 year for somebody else and 4 other years on his own. And Roberto, I think everybody knows Roberto Natalini, who's really killed it on programs like so many of the other trustees. We're all charging fast forward. Kathy Richter stepped in and she's got her term ending this year, having served last year and this year. And we thank you, Kathy, in advance for all that you're going to tell us. And Maggie Janitus is wearing many hats. She's got the website, and you'll see more about that down the road in some period of time, measured in weeks or maybe a month or so. And Julie Brown, you've already met Julie. Thank you, Julie. She's newly elected to the board with another year to go through next year, and myself serving another two-year term. So we'll just go down the line with each of the trustees, and we'll give everybody a special thanks for serving, and looking forward to great success this year. Mia, take it away.
Okay.
Mia.
So just wanted to welcome everybody and reiterate what Len said. Hopefully it'll be a good year. I've heard from
You have a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
that go away. I've heard from a couple companies that are just putting out feelers for later in the year. So I'm excited to see what the guild creates for itself, and I hope that everybody gets involved this year. I don't have too much as far as secretary type info, but just wanted to say it's nice to see everybody, and I'm looking forward to a good year. I will
Thank you.
give the rest of my time to whoever wants it.
Thank you, Mia. Clemencia. Treasurer Clemencia.
Okay, can everybody hear me? Okay, great. Lynn, would you, so I agreed to step in and help out with the treasurer's position this year. Here is just a snapshot of what I presented to the board earlier, which is really basically how we finished up the year, which, given the challenges of 2020, to me feels quite remarkable. The budgeted figure for membership was $10,000. We came unbelievably close at $9,700. The total expenses in various assorted categories was $9,300. We also came incredibly close to that in spite of a fairly large expense on our website redesign, but we were able to economize in other areas. So that part was also extremely close to the projected budget. We were a little bit off, not too surprisingly, in terms of the events expenses. The actual totaled a bit more. The event was largely the party at the beginning of last year. And usually we would make it up with attendance and with other events. Obviously this year that did not happen throughout the year. So that ended up being a slightly bigger negative on the budget than we had expected. And then the other amazing thing is the programs, which we had projected to lose about $2,000. But thanks to Roberto and his incredible efforts, we actually made a little bit of money. So, so our budget is really remarkably close to what we had projected. And so I'm not going to mess with a good thing. I'm going to keep the projections very similar for the coming year. That's about the bottom line. I don't want to prolong this. So I think if anybody has questions, I'll take those. And if not, hopefully I'll be able to answer it.
I didn't actually set the rules. As we go forward, there may be questions, but I'd like to suggest that we put the questions in the chat.
I see. Okay.
And we'll deal with those at the end. And if we don't have time, we'll put them in a response when we send out the link to the recording. Okay. Anything else, Clemencia?
I think that's it, unless you think I should address something else.
Nope, we're all set. Mark, are you ready?
Okay.
Yeah, I am. Hi there, everyone. Welcome to our first meeting of the year.
Hello, Marky boy. Hello, hello.
You may have already heard about our activities of the certification committee. I'm happy to report that the team of 12 of us have made great strides in updating our certification program for the new touring environment. We don't have time to discuss any of the major details tonight. Some are still being worked out. That said, some elements that will be included include all All new members will be provided with study material and will be expected to participate in a knowledge assessment program within our duration to be determined after joining the Guild. This will give the new guide a measure of credibility that none of our existing associate guides had. Certification programs will be offered in modules, in contrast to the old all Bay Area certification as before. The first module to be available will be San Francisco, with others to follow as needed. This will make certification more appealing and attainable for guides who do most of their work in San Francisco, which is about 60% of our membership. Tour requirements will be set at a reasonable level for each module, and testing and training components will cover areas that were previously learned on the job. Tests will be given online, and narration and oral evaluations may be some combination of a line and in person, depending on the social distancing rules and individual circumstances. So yeah, doing it online rather than in person. The committee is also researching the feasibility of creating and providing custom SFTGG name badges, which will include indicators for all the certification modules for which the guide has earned. Plan to come to the spring general meeting to hear all about the fully formed certification program. Looking to the recent past, it is my pleasure to announce the successful completion of tours and testing of Elliot Roth just a few weeks ago. Elliot qualified under the old program criteria and probably deserves a last of breed, if not best of breed, for his resounding success. Thank you, everyone, and that concludes my report.
So, Mark, is Elliot the only person who qualified?
Yes, he's the only one who's been certified in the last few years.
He deserved it 30 years ago. I mean, Elliot's
Thank you, Mark.
really good.
Okay, Roberto.
All right. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yep.
I did. You know, my only feedback today, it's talking about what we have done so far at the beginning of 2021. We had 6 events, some presentations, some movie nights, some discussion groups, and we are working together with Len and to build up the calendar for the rest of the year, so you will be able to see the events ahead of time, not just a couple weeks in advance, but maybe few months in advance. We will be announcing a new event for April soon. Tomorrow, I would like to remind you that one of our members, Jesse War, will be basically the special guest for the San Francisco Historical Society. They are doing an event for Black History Month, and they came across our presentation on YouTube, the presentation that Jesse did for us in August, I believe. And they asked them to do the same, an updated version, basically, of that presentation for them. So if you haven't if you haven't seen it before, it's about African American history in the first 100 years. Go on our website and you will be able to register for that event tomorrow. We also had our own Black History Month event last week with Rick Penn about the Buffalo Soldier. Thank you again, Rick. I know you are there today. You're listening. Thank you again, Rick, for such a great presentation. And what else? I would like to ask everyone. I know there's a lot of amazing over-the-road tour directors among our members, and something that I would like to do in the future is And I have been postponing this project because I kind of forgot to ask everyone to our membership. But I would like some tour directors, expert in over the road tour guiding, to work together with me, or at most like 2 or 3, even 4 to 5 tour directors at most, to create a virtual over the road tour. I'm sure you guys miss be on the road, right? Like everyone else. So why don't we create a beautiful and interesting itinerary over the road? We can decide the itinerary. It could be California, it could be national parks, anything you want. I already have one of our members interested in joining this special event. So please reach out to me if you're interested. You can find my email on the website and contacts information, and please let me know your ideas. And I think I'm done, Len.
Well, that's that's wonderful. Thank you for all your initiative. Very good. Let's turn it over to Kathy Richter with a beautiful smile on her face. And we see Kathy somewhere. Kathy Richter, I see her here.
Okay, now I'm off mute. Hi.
There you go. Good. Yep.
So before I talk about business partners, I just want to refer back to the video and say that it wouldn't be possible without the person who's not visible in the video, and that is Julie Brown, who was using all of her expertise to film that with her iPhone on a tripod perched on top of a park bench. And looking at some of those, she did such a great job. We really didn't know how that would turn out, but we all three decided to go out to the bridge, and Julie suggested that location, and none of that is fake. We couldn't have planned it better. That the fog was just barely subsiding that morning. The sun was shining, and the foghorns were going constantly, and we just did it. So everybody, we all thought that was kind of funny, and just Len kept the video. So I wanted to give Julie the most credit for that, because we wouldn't have it if it weren't for Julie. Thanks for that. So on the
that was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. So as far as business partners, the business partner task force was created in the interest of determining whether organizations that were previously captured in the Guild database, such as data management companies, travel agencies, or hotels, are still viable given all the issues that the travel industry faces at this time. So the Business Partner Task Force is composed of Linda Reynolds, board member Mia Burnt, and myself. And we're currently engaged in the first phase, which is the data cleanup, and looking at the data and refining it as much as possible, and eliminating things like duplications. Sometimes the same organization will be in the spreadsheet that we're working off of, and so we want to make sure that all of that is whittled down and cleaned up so we can be focused. And then subsequently, after that phase is completed, we hope that we'll be in a position to reach out to these tourism-related companies to form and or renew their relationship with the Guild, so that going forward, the Guild will have a better idea of the reliability of the data in the database, and again, move forward with partnering with other businesses that need to be aware of the Guild. And so our intention is to find that out.
Very good. Thank you, Kathy. And I can say from outside observation, those three ladies have been doing a bang-up job kind of getting the foundations built for the next stage of reaching out to business partners. Okay, moving right along, we'll introduce Maggie Janitus, who joined the Guild just over a year ago and has already made a big impact. Maggie, take it away.
Hi. It's, every time I have to speak after Kathy and Roberto, I'm like, they're so good. What am I gonna say? It's just a website. So that's what's going through my mind right now. Anyhow, that said, I am working with technology. There is one little thing that I know has caught a lot of people's attention, and it's the logo, that it's all white now. This is something that Len told me. So Len, if I'm doing this wrong, you let me know. The actual colors of the logo do have a meaning. From what I understand, it's the Golden Gate Bridge, and then below we have the ocean, and the orange is the sunset behind the bridge. That's why we have those two colors. So there's a little bit of the history of the logo. So I know people that actually know this wanted to have that logo back. So we will try to get that back into the website soon. That said, the website is not the only thing that's technology. So there is a small little committee that is gonna have their update section here today about Instagram and social media, all those kind of fun things. So more to come on that. And I do have one more thing, but it's a surprise. It's gonna come a little later on. So stay tuned.
Right. Okay, thank you, Maggie. And we've all met Julie introducing our new members, but we'll give Julie a spot on the agenda to just share general membership information. Take it away, Julie.
Yeah, real quick, because as Len said, you met all of our new members, but I want to just give you numbers. We are currently at 140 active members. Woo, 140. And that's pretty good considering the year we've had. So give yourselves a round of applause because it's been tough for everybody and you guys have stuck with us. So we're very happy about that. I wanted to also let you know that we've got 21 people who've expired. So either their membership has expired. And I wanted to let you know that I'll be following up and just finding out. Some people have retired, some people have moved away. And so 20 people, it's a little bit of time taking to get through and send emails and hope people answer or make phone calls. So hopefully we'll be checking up on those and that active members number will go up. Other than that, you've met all the new members. One thing I want to say, I am new as well, and so is Maggie. We joined at the beginning of 2020, and then all this hit. So when I made contact with all the new members that I introduced earlier, I said, hey, when you feel safe and want to do something, I'm always open to get together and chat. I'm still new to the business. I mean, I have my own walking tour business, but it's very small. I just started it literally a year ago. And I would love to pick all of your brains. If you want to come out, I live in the Presidio, you want to come out and do a socially distanced walk, get a cup of coffee. If you need personal interaction, I'm here for you. So feel free to shoot me an email or give me a text or a call, and I would happily host you here in the park. It's a great place to be, and it's very safe, and it's easy to be socially distant. So don't stay at home and be a hermit if you don't have to be. That's it.
Hey, thank you, Julie. And I encourage anybody to take advantage of that invitation. I had the opportunity to spend a little bit of time with Julie on her back porch, and it's worth the visit. So you've heard from 7 of our trustees. I would be the number 8 trustee who's serving, and because of a unique situation, we ended up with 1 open seat on the Board of Trustees right now. It's up to the existing Board of Trustees to appoint a member whenever we can identify or find a member who might want to contribute in one way or another. Trust me, there's many opportunities, possibilities, but the thing that might make serving on the Board of Trustees a little different now than in the past is we expect to use committees and break up any of the projects and all of the activities amongst many hands, following the adage that many hands make light work. So hopefully a committee or a trustee serving as a committee chair can manage several other small committees. And if you would like to join the board, just let us know. Maybe if you look in the mirror, you'll find a potential applicant. So we'll continue on, and what I'll do is I'll take the screen off for a moment, and now you can see me, and I'll just give the president's report. And I start with the moniker of proud of our past, prepared for a future, which is legacy from the original version 1 of the guild, and I think they did a great job starting the guild as it was, and building it to the organization that it has become. And you've heard me mention the Tour Guide Guild version 2.0, and the phrase comes from the software industry. I think you all know and understand that, representing version levels of software releases. Or the term V1 and V2 are used on every airplane that you've ever flown in. The pilot in command controls the plane, and the second officer is monitoring the instruments. When the plane's speed reaches the point where the plane must take off, the second officer calls out V1, and continuing on down the runway, the plane accelerates to the point when flight is possible, and at that point, the second officer calls V2. And as the wheels lift off, nothing but blue sky and billowing clouds are visible above. And I dare say that's where the guild is today. I don't know exactly when the transition started, but I think it goes back to about 2013, when the trustees at that time embarked on the project to create the new identity guidelines for the guild, with the new logo, with clearly defined criteria for fonts, text, and colors, to create a standard with which the guild could present itself to the world. And over time, that started in 2013, and previous boards and many board members made contributions, and we ended up going to Google Voice at about that time, saving $100 to $200 per month in telephone charges. We started collecting dues and event fees electronically, which was more efficient. And at this point in time, as we've moved to the Club Express platform, we're really fully in the new world technologically, and in terms of efficiency of the work that we all do, and coherence as time goes on, and board members and guild members move on. We've got history stored online, so there's continuity, whereas in the past, all the important material for the guild was stored in paper tubs, and if you didn't have access to the physical, let alone making connections, it was logistically different. So we've passed all of those thresholds, and we look forward with enthusiasm to the next stage. So I'll go back to sharing the screen, and we'll talk about the initiatives that are in place or on the drawing board. Did I get the right screen up? Yes, I did. So we're proud of our past. If we look at one of the old brochures, you can see that that phrase was used in the early days of the guild. And when they transitioned into the new look, they continued the proud of our past, prepared for the future. And lo and behold, there are many initiatives going forward that represent the future. And very quickly, we're going to touch on about 10 different topics. This is going to be very quick. There's not a lot of dialogue that I plan to give, but Maggie will come in for a little bit. And I just want to give you a taste of what's coming down the line. You've already seen the last issue of Guidepost, which came out about a month ago or 3 weeks. Thank you, Yvonne. We all need to thank Yvonne for what she's done. And lo and behold, I didn't know it was coming out, but she sent out an email today calling for content for the next issue. So that was a very pleasant surprise. Fits in very nicely. Well done, Yvonne. Mark has told us about the enhancements to certification. We would like to have as many people as possible clearly defined as certified, and so anybody who aspires will get a certificate like this with their name very proudly presented in the certification document. Roberto has already talked about long-range planning for programs, and just a quick status report, one that's on the board for sure, the Cable Car Home and Home series with Chicago, which adopted mechanisms very similar to San Francisco, will on 1 week present to Chicago. A following week, they will present to us slides and stories about our respective cable car systems. And lo and behold, by making contact with other members, I've found several members who have the Argonaut experience in their forebears. And I've got an agreement that they'll share some of the stories and tribulations that their forebears went through. And so the goal is to have a regular list of programs, in some cases shared programs with entities like the San Francisco Historical Society and others, just basically to spread the word over a broader audience. In addition to Kathy's business partners project, we're looking to build a reach out process where we can get individuals into the guild as individual members. And there's no telling where the next member will come from. The more visibility we can have out in the world, the better. And one way to get visibility is through social media. And lo and behold, Linda Reynolds, a previous board member, has stepped up and volunteered to do a little bit of put in some energy into this project. Would you like to take it away, Linda, for a minute, couple of minutes?
Thank you, Len. I'm excited to tell everyone and share, and I'm really happy to see such new energy and members in the guild. So my applaud to everyone and Roberto. I want to tell you that because of our logo and our tag, it's proud of our history. We're prepared for the future. I feel, and some others do too, that we really need social media and engagement, as Len said, and this will help us expose and exposure, not just locally, but globally. And so what we've done is we've had a discussion, and we've got a group, and we've created a incubator group. And this is for Instagram to start off with. And what we want to do in creating this is we're lucky to have a member, and that is Mike Sullivan. He has offered to volunteer his time, and this is not for everyone. So I understand if you're listening to me, Instagram is for the future, and it is the millennials, and it is where we're going with in all restaurants, bars, and connections and engagements. So what we've done is we've got about 5 members so far in our committee, in our social media group. Mike has now volunteered as an incubator group to help us, since I don't know enough either, the tips and tricks. He has now spent probably a year and a half or longer, and he knows the knowledge that I've been talking with him. He's helped Kathy Richter set up, and she is now, I think, has about 1,000 followers. The point for our guild is we're lucky to have him. He's now offered to share the knowledge, his expertise and tips and tricks with the 5 of us. We are going to learn all of the new engagements. So it's going to take us a while to get together. Once we have that, it will be an Instagram for the guild itself. This way, and our members and our business partners, we can tag each other, we can promote each other, we can help everybody, and then we can even find new members who want to join us. Remember, this isn't for everyone. So I am looking out there for anyone who does have an Instagram account, who is knowledgeable, that wants to join us. I want you to contact me. I think this exposure in our future is really important. It will tie into Maggie and the rest of the social media to get us out there and to get exposure and promote the guild, promote ourselves, and promote all the tourist bars, restaurants, wineries, and everything that we're going to need after COVID. So this is a great time and opportunity for us to get together. We're discussing it, we're building it up, and I'll give you an update after our next gatherings. That's about it.
I'd say that's a pretty good report, Linda. Thank you very much. Okay, moving right along. Maggie made reference to something else that was coming up as a surprise later on in the program, and here we have it. Take it away. Now, you're going to want to take the screen, are you not, Maggie, or not? She's going to take the screen.
I am. Yay. Can you see my bright orange?
There we go.
Yay. So this is to wake you up a little bit. If you were a little sleepy, the orange will wake you up. So here we go. And this ties right in what Linda just said. We are looking at being more modern and be more out there. And the one thing that we all talk about is always the website. We all come back to that. So our thought was, what if we make the people that we want to encourage to be out there be part of the website? So that's where this began. So it is our website. So we want it to be part of the community. And the best way is to invite the community to be part of it. So what we want to change is the banner image. I hope you all can see how the banner image looks like on your computer or on your phone. And that's the one that we want to change. We want to have something that's bright, colorful, and that shows San Francisco. So whatever you are thinking, yes, get out there. I know there are a lot of photographers here in the group, silent photographers, professional photographers, or just people who want to go out and take pictures. So while you are out there, take a nice picture. We want it to be, Len told me what the right word is. It's not portrait, it's panorama. So it's nice and wide, and we can put it up there, and it will take a lot of space. So yeah, while you are out there, if you are taking good pictures for your Instagram account, even better. So there are a couple of requirements here. The only one that I think is important is try to make it people free, because if there's people, we have to request their permission, and also we want to have something that's very San Francisco. So if you can make it people free, would be better. There are prices. I think this is the best part. So you can read the prices here. I'm going to work with Lynn to get this presentation out there for you, so you can look at it. The prices are actually pretty cool. We're offering 1 year free membership. We're offering, like for the other ones, a smaller amount of money. But we're also, and I think this is the important part, we want to feature the winners in our website. So again, it's part of this, bring the community into the website. So I'm excited. There you are. Be creative, be fantastic. And here is how we're gonna submit the photos. Again, I'm gonna send this out. So you're gonna just use the Google form that I wanna show very, very quickly. So if you have a Google account, use it, log in. So we will see your email, but add your name. Just make sure you click all these boxes that apply to your photo, add the photo, click submit, you're all set. That's it. So that's it. Again, thank you, Len.
Okay, thank you, Maggie. And in summary, basically, it's hopefully a motivator for us to get some personal contributions that can be used on the website. And just stay tuned for the follow-up email that will reinforce what Maggie has just shared in terms of the concept, and specifics will be hopefully very easily to read in a coming email. One or two more quick initiatives and we'll be pretty much finished. We plan to include in the new website some promotional material I don't know if any of you have ever been onto the Washington, D.C. Association's website, but they have a pretty good collection of promotion pages, one specifically for the Guild, where they have multiple guides promoting and talking about the features and the benefits of the association itself, but also individual guides have created their own video, and they're posted up there, and it kind of ties together because it really shows that there's community amongst the tour guide group in Washington, and it's an opportunity for all of us to get a little bit more visibility on anybody who visits our website. And so this is not ready for prime time. We don't really have all the details figured out yet, but it is part of the plan to have a real program for promotion as the year goes on. There have been in the past calls for requests for a bibliography of San Francisco books on all matters of topics in San Francisco, and believe it or not, interrupted by COVID, we started almost a year ago an online bibliography, and it looks just like what you're seeing here, where any of us, if we have a book, can enter the book in the bibliography online for the Guild and read reviews if anyone cares to make a review, or if there are none, there's the jacket, what do you call the blurbs on the jacket talking about the book. It can be included on this database, and when it's live, you just click on any of these and can poke around and find fascinating books of material. And that's just a resource that some people will use and some people probably won't, but I know that it's been requested in the past. And in addition to all of that, we'll use Club Express to guide us in some organizational improvements. We have a document library, but it needs to be reorganized a little bit to make it easier to see and find material. That's not a lot of work. It just takes a little bit of thinking to get that reorganized. There's a couple of small changes that need to be done in the bylaws, and all of the procedures that were defined very clearly back in about 2010, 11, and 12, maybe even earlier than that, need to be rewritten to accommodate the new the environment that we're working in Club Express, and so we'll be updating that and using committees, as I mentioned, to share the load. And last is a potential organization of further training. Now, Garrett Etheridge, who has left us, but some of you may remember Garrett, actually suggested that part of our ultimate training program could contain modules as described here. And this is very clearly a sensible way to provide additional training modules for all of our guides. And it ties in nicely with a change in the certification organization, where it used to be really what guides got out of the Guild was on-the-job training. And we're going to try to accelerate learning through some training modules, but that takes a commitment and time. We will be using committees and volunteers. I mentioned that, don't need to beat that off any longer. And so with that, I take us to the airport. And this is what V2 looks like.
As a Phil, while Len is doing that, I just wanted to let you know this is Babs here, and I'm from mostly the Las Vegas Tour Guide Guild, but I'm relocating. You guys are doing a wonderful presentation, but also the way you have this all together, it's exemplary. So keep up the good work.
Thank you, Babs. Thank all the members in the Guild for getting us to where we are. So for all our Guild members, our industry partners, our friends of the Guilds, future members, I present to you San Francisco Tour Guide Guild V2. That concludes the presentation. I dare say at this point, anybody who's got either questions or wants to hang around and just have some conversation, that's all well and good. How about we go back to just a regular face picture? And in the chat, I haven't been monitoring the chat. Are there any questions for any trustee or anyone came up in the chat?
Yes, but I think they all got answered.
Oh, okay, fine.
There are a couple questions for Maggie. She got Mark and Masako and Sonoma are inviting us all to come over to their place.
Ah, look at that. Hi, Mark. You look great.
And I think that was.
No, that's not it. Can you all hear me?
Oh,
go ahead. Who's speaking?
Okay, this is Sunny. I put a couple things in the chat that perhaps we can look at. One is about, shall we say, retirees, former board members that I've been forwarding our Zooms to, and they've really appreciated them. Many of them are either retired or out of the area. Is there a way that we can grandfather them in so they can get our Zooms?
Why don't you have them join as friends of the guild?
Because they're unemployed, they're retired, they're out of the area, they can't afford it, they're living on Social Security.
Thank you, Sonny. We'll take it up at the next board meeting.
Okay, and there was something else that I also put in there, and I don't recall right now, but.
Okay, I got something. May I?
Go ahead.
Pursuant to what Roberto was talking about and the expertise of the people who are guild members who are over the road, I think it'd be really neat to have some, even if it was just a start, for people who let me close my door. I think we're getting feedback here.
Oh,
people who are expert in one area, say the Southwest, could have a chart for people who would be willing to act as resources, who feel that they're expert. For instance, I want to go see some of the Southwest lands on spring break. And I don't really know where to start planning, and I don't want to pull out an old tour thing. So this could be a resource for guides who are new to doing an over-the-road tour and need some briefings, or people who just want to explore on their own. So just a thought.
Okay, thank you, Ellen. Go ahead.
Len, I did find the other thing that I wrote in the chat, and it was a comment, real simple. Once things open up, since we're doing the guidepost again, what we used to do in the past to get restaurants and shops and such to pay for membership is we would do advertisements in the guidepost. And once things start opening up again, they might find that that's a good vehicle for them to take once tourism starts again. So that could be something that we could create a committee to do, to go out and start talking to some of our restaurants.
That's great, Sonny. Would you be willing to head the committee?
We'll talk.
That'd be great. And you can tie it into social media. I would love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
okay, so contact Linda. That'd be great, Sonny.
Thank you, Sonny.
Linda. Okay.
Okay. Mark, did you have something you wanted to add?
Unless somebody has a question for me.
Okay,
yes, I could have 30 seconds.
I thought I saw you waving your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah, if I could have 30 seconds, I'm guessing everybody, you can hear me. This is Mark and Masako Kasulan. We live up here in Glen Ellen, and nice to see your faces. We all know each other. Hey, we got 4 acres of land we live up on here, and we've gotten pretty good at how to be together with a couple of couples or a small group outside, socially distant, in a way that we can discuss comfort levels of that subject as it pertains to the world of guiding. So if you have a couple hours and you want to come to Glen Ellen, reach out to us. We'll talk to you about the mechanics and details, but we've got space. Market is close by. We're close to Jack London. If you want to be here, you are welcome. Reach out, y'all.
You really should go. We went and we had a wonderful time, and we learned some about an amazing phenomena that he can show you in the wild. The acorn woodpecker. Go see him. You'll have
Hey,
fun.
Hey, Mark, can you hear me? It's Madeline. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Madeline. Thank you.
I'm going to be up in your area getting my second dose, March 11th. I'll come see you.
That's great, dear. I saw your chat there. Reach out to me privately, and I would love
Yes,
to
I
talk to you. And hey, everybody, no kidding. You are welcome. We'd like to have conversations with you. I love the conversation of guiding. Any subject that we could discuss that's grown up and doesn't waste anybody's time would be tons of fun. And we're right next to Jack London Park, so you want to come up?
I will be.
Yes, very good hammocks.
Oh, and for everybody who can hear me, who is having difficulties getting signed up for an appointment, if you want the jab, going north to Sonoma, they have more supply.
Good to know. Yeah. Allow me to circle back one more time on the subject of volunteering. Where we are today with version 2.0 would not have been possible without some of the board members, previous boards and presidents, specifically Helen Hickman, who did a phenomenal job in the last couple of years leading the guild through, and so many of the other people who have added themselves to the list of volunteers over the recent past. Is just no way to thank them enough. So I meant to be a little bit more effusive during the presentation, but now thank you for giving me another chance to say thank you one more time. We don't move forward unless we're all together, and we've really got some momentum going now, and thank you all for contributing. Anybody else? Last comments, questions, wishes, desires? Okay.
Thank you to you, Len, for your apparently tireless energy and commitment. It's just awesome.
Well, we're all together. We learn together, and thank you. So I'm applauding you as well. So stay tuned for the spring.
Oh,
go ahead.
Mark announced that he certified someone. I was privy to that. We have a newly certified member.
Yep.
Yeah, he announced it.
He did? Oh.
Yeah, we want to say it again, Mark?
My bad. I was late, I guess.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ellen, for helping out with that.
No problem.
Lynn, I wanted to tell you that I had a great time listening tonight to everyone. And I'm educating myself by listening in the background. And someday I hope to be certified. This is Rick Penn, a retired park ranger. I'm here, my first meeting, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Very exhilarating, and just to hear about all the things that have happened and the potential for the future. It's the year of the ox, and they say that there's a great potential in the aftermaths of tragedy and things, and hopefully we'll all come through this. There are brighter days ahead, and I really enjoyed this meeting.
Thank you, Rick. That's great. Glad you could join us. Okay. So tomorrow night, 6 o'clock with the San Francisco Historical Society, and then I think the next one that's solidly on the calendar is in April. We've got another movie coming up on in March, Bottle Shock. I think it's the second Tuesday, and we'll see you then. And it's 8:05. What is it? 6:15. The meeting is adjourned. Have a wonderful week. that